Now,
on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
O'Connor and Company.
Hey, everyone. Good Tuesday morning to one and all. We are going to be talking to Joe Concha. Hey, Joe.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great. Joe is a Fox News contributor, media and politics columnist, and he's the author of the upcoming book, Progressively Worse: Why Today's Democrats Are Your Daddy's Donkeys. That's a great title, Joe.
Donkeys. Thank you. I came up with that one.
How are you doing this morning?
I just got out of the shower, to be honest with you, so if I seemed a little bit disheveled, you don't want to know how I'm dressed right now.
You know, Larry
very cold.
Larry earlier talked about how how people are joining us in their bathrooms, brushing their teeth, and I said, but not in their showers. So thank you for correcting me on that.
It was close, believe me. Now, we lost power here for a second last night, so my alarm clock became obsolete. Because I'm still the idiot that uses an alarm clock, because I don't like keeping my phone on because it's always beeping and buzzing. I'm like, all right, this thing goes off. I don't care. Unless a Scud missile's coming towards my house, I don't want to see a text from somebody at like 11:30 at night. So, yeah, when the power went out, it eliminates the alarm, and I woke up at like 8:01, and I did not like the scent coming off my body. I'm like, let me see if I can just grab a quick shower, and then I can come out.
Yikes.
And so right now I'm, let's put it this way. I'm glad this isn't on video.
Honestly, Joe, at this point, we just assumed you didn't sleep at all, because we see you everywhere and doing such great work with your media criticism over at Fox. So thank you for that job. I feel like, I mean, to be fair, you learned everything from me and Heather and the team here at WMAL, but it's good to see you doing well.
Half of that is right. I learned everything I learned from Heather. Yes.
From Heather Hunter, yes. So Jen Psaki apparently sort of stretched the truth a bit in this book, where she talks about Joe Biden. And she says, well, he didn't really check his watch during the Dover Air Force Base transfer of dignified remains. I mean, there are lies in there and there are damn lies here, and then there's just blatant lies. But should we be surprised that Jen Psaki stretches the truth?
Oh, we have a little pattern here, don't we, Larry? This is the girl who said that. She sounds like the girl from American Pie that says, "And one time at band camp." She's that character. So I forget her. I think it was Allison Hannigan. I think that's her name.
That's
but anyway,
right. That's right.
Also a ginger, by the way. So there's a pattern. You cannot trust a ginger.
Oh, she looks and sounds like Psaki, which is remarkable. So Psaki, when she was press secretary, she'd be up at the James S. Brady briefing room at that podium and say, and it's Republicans who actually want to defund the police. And you're like, no, they're not. What Republicans want to. Actually, Joe Biden, he inherited a mess at the border because of Donald Trump. You're like, no, he didn't. Well, Afghanistan was really a resounding success in our withdrawal. No, it wasn't. So this is like constant. The only thing is that Karine Jean-Pierre somehow is worse. So then people kind of pine for Psaki because at least she could lie better. But the consistency here is lie. And she went full Biden on this one because Biden lies. And it's pathological, and it's so easy to fact check. Like when Biden says, I was arrested during the Civil Rights Movement because I was on a porch with a black couple. And, of course, that never happened. I could go through all of them, but we got finite time here. So here it's like she says this in the book, and there's literally photos of him 10 minutes apart, by the way, checking his watch twice during that ceremony. And I want to know when I'm going to start seeing these Gold Star families who are really pissed off about this, right? They're thinking about even suing Psaki. When's Jake Tapper going to start interviewing them? I'm curious, because if this was Kayleigh McEnany and Donald Trump making this claim, I'm pretty sure. So MSNBC, I get not talking about this because that's one of their own. But CNN, for whatever reason, they're not saying anything about this either because they're all on the same ship. And that ship is sinking at this point from a ratings perspective. Yeah,
absolutely, Joe Concha. And you're right. And listen, this is a lie at the expense of Gold Star families who shouldn't be Gold Star families if it weren't for the horrific leadership of Joe Biden. It was to save his sorry political ass. It is just such the fact that she would put that into her book in some way to try to do more damage control. But that's what they do.
But I do think that Joe Biden is a pathological liar, and she sat at that podium and defended his lies and saw that the media kind of gave him a break all along. So I'm not at all surprised that she puts these kinds of rank lies in her book at the expense of these families and these soldiers, because she just expects the media to treat her the same way.
But Joe, we had a great time with Kristi Noem's book and the Kim Jong-un thing and all that. I mean, this doesn't seem to get quite as much coverage, this lie in this book. And I think it's a little more consequential.
It's getting 1/100th the coverage. We're talking about it on Fox, of course, and I went off on Noam on Fox before he says, "Well, you would never criticize a Republican." Oh, I'm a dog owner my whole life, and trust me, that person. If there's any chance less than zero of being vice president at this point, that's Kristi Noem. But that's a story from 2 weeks ago. Yeah, and I'll say this also in case Jen's listening right now. You are a horrible person, by the way. I mean, it's one thing to be a liar, but she's in politics, so that's kind of what she's supposed to do. She was on Morning Joe last week, basically fantasizing about Donald Trump dying in the next 4 years. And with a smile on her face. And, you know, what she said about Peter Doocy, like after she was press secretary, saying, yeah, he really is a stupid son of a bitch. I'm sorry. This is a person that it's one thing. It's a hard job to do White House press secretary. I think it's one of the hardest. But I know Dana Perino, and trust me, Jen Psaki ain't no Dana Perino. That is a genuinely nice person.
Joe, could you also turn the focus
and
on
Kelly.
this
trial?
trial?
Before Kelly's like, hey, why didn't you mention me? But yeah, and Kelly, yes, of course.
The trial up in New York right now of Donald Trump, the two-star witnesses that are getting tons of play all across the media. One is a former porn star, obviously, who's changed her story multiple times on this. Now she's trying to make her alleged affair, which, by the way, she once swore in an affidavit never happened with Donald Trump.
Right.
Now, of course, she admits it happened, but now she's saying it's a Me Too thing. And meanwhile, the other star witness yesterday is literally a convicted perjurer. But they're being treated like, you know, they're the saviors of the democracy.
Oh, that's the funny thing, right? I mean, first with Stormy, Bill Maher, give him credit, right?
Yes.
On his show on Friday night, he said, look, I interviewed her, and she said it wasn't a Me Too thing, and she wasn't forced against her will, she blacked out or anything like that. She still may have lied about the affair, may or may not have happened, but that's one witness, right? The other witness is named Pecker, right? And he's the publisher of the so you got a Pecker, you got a porn star, and now you got an absolute prick in Michael Cohen. So we got the three Ps going here. What a clown. I mean, have you seen these TikTok videos where he's selling his merchandise?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is so cheesy. And then John Levine, a friend of mine from the New York Post, a reporter, he broke a story yesterday where he got the actual footage from the show that he's pitching, the reality show called The Fixer. And I'll use the word again. It's the cheesiest thing you'll ever see. So a guy who openly hates Donald Trump and is trying to profit off of him, and Stormy Daniels obviously admitted that she has profited greatly off of him. Those are the two-star witnesses. Yet if you watch the two networks that I talked about, MSNBC, not so much CNN, they've been a little bit more fair. But MSNBC is like, this is the turning point. This is what's going to bring Donald Trump down. It's not. I even think in Manhattan with a jury that obviously will have some Democrats on it. I think we result in a hung jury here. I think there'll be some reasonable people on there saying, hey, no crime has been explained or committed here. You're defined. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think all it takes is one.
What isn't being talked about as much is also what a weirdo Michael Cohen is. He was obsessed with Donald Trump. That came out very clearly from what he was talking about, how he really sought Trump's approval, and he, even took that loan out on his own house, to pay some.
Yeah.
I mean, I find this guy mentally ill, and that seems to not be a focus of the coverage.
He's like this 2.0 version of George Conway, right? Same thing. Both these guys, they wouldn't be a name without, in George's case, without being married to Kellyanne Conway, who was the campaign manager for Trump in 2016. Right. And obviously Cohen wouldn't be anybody, clearly, without Donald Trump. They both were turned down jobs in the administration. Michael Cohen wanted to be chief of staff. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So, this is all part of personal animus. But to get back to a debate I think we're about to have before, Larry, I think it is a hung jury. And if it is, Fonnie Willis, that case is gone. Jack Smith, his case is gone, or at least delayed. I don't see – if this comes down to issues and no lawfare, I don't see how Trump loses. I'm sorry, I just don't.
Hung jury would be amazing. The only way Trump loses is if they pull something at the last minute here with putting Kamala on the top of the ticket, or maybe somebody else. But if it is Biden Trump in November, Joe Concha, Fox News, and his book is coming out. Coming up, when is it? In July. Progressively Worse: Why Today's Democrats Ain't Your Daddy's Donkeys.
Woohoo!
Thank you, Joe. Good talking with you.
All right, guys, take care.
Wow, think about it. The two-star witnesses, one of them is a debased, completely discredited prostitute who will literally do anything for $1 of the most disgraceful kind. And the other one is a porn star.